The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome. It is nice to see people coming in here. Hello, Alex. Hello, Michael. Hello, everybody. We saw we have a lot to talk about this week. We were not live last week, and I put that on Twitter that we pre-taped, but it was funny. We went to WrestleCade this weekend, and we saw some fans. And they're like, why weren't you guys interacting with the chat last week? And I thought people knew that we pre-taped, but apparently they did not know that we pre-taped. So yes, that was why we weren't interacting. So we don't dislike you guys. We love you. So we weren't deliberately not paying attention. So we just wanted to let you know this. So hi, everybody joining us late. Hi.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Got decided to take a dive and take my computer with me. So, yeah, you never know what's going to happen when it's a live show. So, there you go. Winona, hi. You guys can hear me, right? Okay. I wasn't sure if you ripped my microphone out too. Sorry about that, you guys. Winona, must say big wig. Hi, War Demon. Yo, what's up? Hi to everybody joining us. So, yeah, I went to my first WrestleCade in North Carolina this week. And it was actually really, really cool. Now the story around it, not so much, but the WrestleCade was. Maurizio, hello. Yeah. So, and Eva D, thank you for joining me. I'm trying to refix my microphone. Yeah. In case you missed
Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yeah. No. It's not your clothes getting tighter. It's the refrigerator that's doing it for you. The clothes aren't shrinking. It's the refrigerator doing it. So cool. Awesome, dude. Welcome. Yeah. So how much pie did you guys have? Because yeah, we had a phenomenal amount and
it was good.
I'm almost embarrassed to say how much pie I had. I don't want to talk about that, but it's going to be a lot of gymming this week. So
yeah.
Because you have to get rid of it, right? You got to get rid of it. You can't have it laying around. So, and
that's true.
Alan and everybody, thank you for coming in late. Alex is asking, he said, have you encountered any wrestling legends? Yeah, everybody was there. Everybody was at WrestleCade.
April's a legend.
Yeah, I didn't realize the room I was in. I got there and I just started working because, you just set up and we were in a square at WrestleCade, and then the vendors were on the outside of the square, basically, and the fans and the people walked in between around us. So I didn't realize Kurt Angle was diagonally behind me, and so was Shelton Benjamin, and then directly behind me was X-Pac or Sean Waltman and oh God, where's my brain? I'm still tired. We pulled an all-nighter to get home.
Don't ask me. I'm bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, there were people behind me. So
there's
quite a few legends in that area. And then I went upstairs to pick up my pictures. That's the story right there. And I had to get them from Al Snow. So I did a little loop around there and said hi to everybody. So yeah, totally. Saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. And Heather, what's up? And I say, Wolf, what's up? Now there's right here. I saw Wolf, who was a legend in his own right. So I finally got to meet Wolf in person. So awesome. That was kind of cool. Yep. And JD Smith. Are you running into a lag? Are you guys running into a lag at all? So let me know. But we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to do a recap on WrestleCade. We're going to kind of cover some of the things going on in the media that the media is not covering. There was an interesting study that came out that everything we've been saying on this show since it started, that we have been censored and deplatformed for and called a conspiracy theorist for, everything else, ended up being true. Right down to saying that Bill Gates experimented on girls in India. I don't know if you caught that comment. He admitted it. He said that India is a playground for medical experiments. So is Africa. So, yeah. And I mentioned this and people thought I was nuts. So we're going to discuss that. There's just a lot going on. But first, we'll talk about some of the fun stuff. And Daryl, what's up? Oh, you got my Christmas card. Yay. I'm glad you're doing okay. And okay, so War Demon's saying there's no lag on his side. So, yeah. And hi, Steve. What are you doing? Oh, tryptophan toxicity. Well, it's good for you. It's good for you. So
wow, a lot of people got your Christmas cards. That's
yeah, yeah. I tried to get those. Okay, so I know it's a little early, but I tried to get those in the mail early because there's so much to do. I wanted to knock some stuff out as early as I could. I feel like I get overwhelmed very easily, and there's so much to handle from October, November, December with being a cosplayer and cosplay judge and then appearances. And, usually I have a Christmas party. So just a lot. So the Christmas cards, as you know, I tend to write messages on them and address them and everything. So they take a while to do. So it's an undertaking.
Good.
Yeah, it's an undertaking.
Did I hear you made a new candle?
I did. Mm-hmm. I hear your birds squawking, so we have to drink. Every time the birds squawk, you got to drink. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We're going to be It's going to be a squawking drinking night because they were cooped up for a while with traveling.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, get your wine ready. I'm glad you guys.
I figured out something.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, I'm glad you guys got everything. Did you actually give me, Alan? Did you give me your address? Because I'm blanking. Like I said, I'm tired. Yay!
I'm sure you didn't say that.
Oh, good, Winona. So let me tell you, Winona. Okay, so I have a lot more male fans than female fans. So the card that I have, the typical card I have right now, has a lot of thong on it, and I didn't think you would appreciate that. So I was searching to find something for you. So that's why I came up with the superheroine card for you, Winona. So I just didn't think you wanted to see my ass. I mean, I could be wrong, but hey.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, Winona just seems like she would rather. She's more about the yes. So we went to WrestleCade, and let me tell you, the booking turned into a shit show before I even got there. And it's because WrestleCade was amazing. But what they do is they have vendors who hire out the booths and tables. And those independent vendors bring people in. So I had a vendor hire me. So here's where it got interesting. There were supposed to be at least 4 of us on the table, including, and then also the vendor was supposed to show up too. And Steve, I'm dying. That's America's ass. Thanks. Well, no, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm up there at Thanksgiving trying to organize because I'm hosting Thanksgiving with my friends. We're having a Friendsgiving. So I'm trying to organize all of that. I'm up in North Carolina, in Western North Carolina. And by the way, it is still a disaster up there. It is flabbergasting how differently the same storm has been handled in Florida, where I live in Tampa Bay, and Western North Carolina, where I'm in Burnsville. So, I mean, it is still a disaster there. There are roads that are still like 1 lane and half in the, in the river. There are houses that have been flattened. There are people in tents. Don't let them tell you there are not. We saw it. And their government is using code to stop them from getting tiny homes. So the Amish have come down and volunteered to build tiny homes for them. And the government is saying, unless you have a fixed heating system, like they won't let you plug in a heating if you use any like a plug-in radiator or anything. They're not allowing those tiny homes to go up. So they would rather people, children, babies, be in tents in 22-degree weather. It was fucking freezing there. They'd rather them be in tents than be in a tiny home with a plug-in heater. So that is actually what's happening. We saw it firsthand. And at this point, you can only guess you can only follow the money and guess the fact that they want these people out, because this Western North Carolina area is sitting on such valuable land. They're sitting on lithium mines and quartz mines, and you need that for this clean energy investment, and they're semiconductors for AI. And we're using so much AI that there's no other reason for why it's been mishandled so badly when Florida was up and running within a week. So, and they waived all the code issues for us so that people could get temporary housing or go back into their housing. So yeah, Heather was there too. She saw it. It was unbelievable. So
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. That's right. Damaged land is cheap land. Exactly.
Don't sell.
And everybody up there is just disgusted with the lack of help. If anything, the FEMA is getting in the way, and they're slowing everything down. They're making it more complicated. So there's that. So this is something that is not being put on, not covered by media. They're lying about it. I'm telling you firsthand. You can see the video I put out. They don't want you to know this is also on my YouTube page. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. It's on a little bit on Instagram. You can watch that to see firsthand what things look like. A little bit better this month than it was last month, but it's still a disaster. I mean, it's still devastated there. There's still cars turned upside down. There's still houses turned upside down. There's still total collapse. Roads, like 40 going to Tennessee is closed, and local roads are closed. So yeah, don't let the mainstream media lie to you. It's going to be a long, long road. Yeah, Wolf, you're right. Yeah. So I will say they handle things pretty decently here in Florida. I'll give them that. But anyway, we're in Western North Carolina hosting, trying to handle it. And then I'm getting an influx of messages saying that everybody at the table has canceled for the week. So first the people in there from OVW canceled, and then Sandell wasn't able to make it. And because the same promoter I'm working with did not get him a flight. So it's looking worse and worse and worse. And then the promoter himself canceled. So now I'm at 3 tables with nobody but myself. And thank you, cool, awesome dude. Thank you for your Corgos. I appreciate it. So if you send those biddies, we flex them titties. So I'm negotiating all this while I'm trying to deal with turkey and ham and lots and lots and lots of pie. So I'm just like, do I go? Do I not go? Like, do I even show up? Like, what do I do? In the end, we decided to show up and make the best of it. It was a 5-hour drive round trip. And thank you very much for everybody. I'm seeing your things in here. I appreciate that. So we decided to go because so many people were coming out to see us, both friends and family. And Colin, my former co-host here, he was coming out to see us too. My friend Bambi, who you probably, she's been around the wrestling business. She was coming out to see us. There was just a lot of people coming out. Fans were coming out. Wolf was coming. Cool. So we didn't want to disappoint. So we showed up. And I've never seen a promoter drop the ball so hard. So because he was supposed to bring pictures and a banner and everything else and change, I had none of that, markers, all of that. So he assured me he would bring plenty of prints. I gave him a bunch of exclusive prints that I've never had made up. So I said, I've never done this. Nobody's ever had these before. I'm giving them to you. He's like, yeah, I got you covered. He's like, I'll send some over with Al Snow. So, Steve. So Steve was asking, is worse than the San Francisco fiasco? Yes and no. San Francisco was a disaster in general. This was just mishap with the promoter. The actual show itself was good. In San Francisco, the entire show was a disaster. So
you have to tell me about that. I don't know
was
about that one.
impressed with WrestleCade. Like the people from WrestleCade were very impressive. The show was run very well.
Yeah, staff came around and was checking on you a lot.
Yeah, bringing water and they were very well organized. It was I would love to go back, but the promoter that hired me, not so much. Right. So he's telling me I have to go see Al Snow. He sent him over from Louisville to bring my pictures. So I go up, get the stack of pictures from Al, and it's a little tiny stack about like that. I'm like, oh. I open it up, and most of the pictures are of the other male wrestlers he wants me to sell for him. In there were probably 2 or 3 pictures of 7 different shots that I sent him. I probably sent him, I don't know, 20 different shots to pick from. He picked 7, made about 2 pictures on average of each one, and that was it. So, yeah, I didn't really have anything. There was no banner, no change. So we're trying to do the best we could with it. But I was like, dude, like, seriously? How are we supposed to do this without anything? I mean, what was your opinion, Eva?
I think we did the best we could. Made our own sign.
Yeah, he was over there scribbling with a pen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's some explosion thing going off out here. I don't know if you can hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like fireworks.
Yeah, it could have been real bad, but thankfully the people were great. The pictures you did have sold quickly.
Yeah,
and it went well. The people were great. It was nice to meet Wolf, and I'm glad we went. You know, it was my first Wrestle convention as well. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, you normally work at Comic Cons and the horror cons.
Right, and yeah, it's a different crowd of people. They love their wrestle everything wrestling.
Yes,
there's people walking around with thousands of dollars of merchandise in containers, and that they were carrying around. Yes, I couldn't get the pictures to go up.
Yeah, I caught up with Larissa and Camille. Let's see what else we got here.
Colin, don't forget Colin.
Of course. Oh. Sean, I'll say
Sean. Yep.
Let's see. Where are we? Oh, there's Wolf.
That's right. In person. That was so nice to meet him.
Yeah, totally.
He's funny.
What else we got?
Hang with him. We hung with you.
We did. There's Eva and I with Colin. Yep.
Yeah.
He's tall.
He is. I thought he was a short shit from a closet. I really did. I was
came out of the closet for this one.
Yes, and no discussions on glory holes, nothing. And he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I hope him and the family made it to Florida.
Or guy. This guy said one of the nicest things I've ever heard. I got several comments that really made my day. So he comes up to me, he's like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. He's like, you just say things. You have no filter. And I love that. I love you. And I was like, oh. And I see some people here. Hi, Laquifa, Elliot Spaceman. I see some people joining us late. Hello, welcome.
Right, Elliot.
Welcome. Yeah, so I know. I didn't expect him to be that tall either. So you must really have to scooch down for the glory holes, huh? Michael says wrestling convention is on the bucket list. Yeah, there's some. I like this one. This one was really well done. It's worth making the trip, I think, because some of them are good, some of them aren't good. This one's good.
Well, maybe you were looking at her boobs. How do we know?
There we go. No, War Demon's asking if Nash was there. I No, because he re-injured his quad tendon again. So he went back into surgery.
Mick Foley was there.
Mick Foley was there. Yeah, I was going down the escalators. He was going up, and we're like, "Yay! Hey, miss you!" So we had one of those. Really, really enjoyed seeing some people I haven't seen in a while. Mick was one of them. Who else? Yeah, LOL. April with a filter. No kidding.
Yeah.
I just stopped. I stopped giving a shit a while ago, to be honest with you. And thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
Oh,
What?
I was Heather's burning your dirty hippie candle.
Oh, nice.
It's one of the favorites. Yeah, we sold a lot of candles, a lot of stuff. You did great.
We did. Yeah, we actually sold a lot of stuff. I was really, really surprised because I usually don't do that great at the wrestling shows. Because I'm around so many gigantic names. It's usually a situation, like Flair was there. Your guy was there, War Demon, Sting, sorry, who retired, and this is an opportunity to see him. So the lines for Flair and Sting were wrapped around the building, So you have so many big names that, people like me kind of get lost in the shuffle sometimes. But this time I did very, very well, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who came out to say hi and, to purchase something and stop by and say hi. I know I said that twice, but I do appreciate that. And when we were leaving, somebody stopped, and they, guy walking down, he was holding his bell, and he stopped. He's like, "Oh my God, April Hunter." And I was like, he's like, April Hunter. He kept saying, "No, April Hunter." I'm like, "That's me." He's like, "Holy shit." He's like, "I've been watching you for 20 years. Where have you been?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, you're a legend."
I was in that room, and I've, have a podcast now. He's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "You are a fucking legend." And I was like, "Oh."
It was so like genuine and happy to see you. It was great.
It was so cool. It was so nice. It was so heartwarming because, you wake up every day and you're sore, neck hurts, things cramp up, your fingers, I've got these strong hands, and I can't even open my own jars from having every single finger broken multiple times. So somebody said, "Oh, your hands look so strong." I'm like, "They used to be," until I had everything dislocated and broken. So now I got to hand the jar off to somebody all the time. I actually even carry one of those jar openers in my purse now because I'm just like, I can't open this freaking soda bottle. Fuck. So yeah, you get beat up, and when somebody comes along and kind of validates you and is like, "Dude, I really appreciate what you did," or somebody, sends you something from your Amazon wish list, like, "Hey, I really appreciate what you do," or "Yeah, hey, I love you, watched you." It makes you, it kind of, makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And I felt all warm and fuzzy inside. So despite the stuff that went on with the promoter, it was worth going over there to see the fans and friends. So I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Good vibe. Good vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a really good vibe.
Actually, if it would have been promoted properly and done properly too, more people would have came out, I'm sure, to see you. But there was just a really good vibe there.
It really was. Really was. And I'm catching up on on some of the comments. And one notice says, "I wish Kentucky had conventions like that." Well, yes, but Kentucky has OVW. And you have a lot of access to that kind of wrestling there. That's another thing that I liked about WrestleCade is the people there, and thank you, Heather, appreciate that. The people there appreciate wrestling. So it's not just a WWE convention. I mean, these people know Lucha Libre, they know Catch, they know Yoshi, they know, or Josie, however everybody pronounces it differently. But they know Japanese wrestling, they know Mexican wrestling, they know the Indies, they know Ring of Honor, they know the Canadian, wrestling, they know the trainers, they know everything, plus WWE. A lot of love across the board for all wrestling, not just WWE. So I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, there's people walking around with TNA stuff on, NWO,
AEW, Lucha, everything. Yeah.
It was good. We made the best of it. You know what? Now we had 2 out of 3 tables to ourselves, and worked out pretty good.
And
Spread
Alan's
out.
asking if I would call. Yeah, we did have a week. We were able to spread out. Alan's asking if I would call Tampa area the capital of pro wrestling. That's a good question. Um, hmm. I
I
would
think it
say,
used to be.
yeah, I would say this is where, honestly, no. But I would say this is where all the pro wrestlers live here or Orlando. This is where the majority of them live because uh, I think it's because we have airports that fly everywhere direct, Tampa and Orlando. We have an active lifestyle down here, but I mostly think it's because the circus is here. And you can move around freely and not be a freak. So there's so much weird in Florida that if you're down here and you're a wrestler, you don't stand out. You don't, people aren't staring at you. I remember being stared at nonstop in Kentucky. Like I was a freak all the time.
Wow.
I always felt like an outcast there. However, I would say that maybe Kentucky, Ohio is one of the capitals of pro wrestling. I would say Minnesota. I would say Texas. Um, these areas have always been known to have really good pro wrestling come out of there. Midwest, Deep South tend to have really good pro wrestling, and also New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia.
Mm.
There's a
Oh,
thing there right there, that New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and you could also go up as far, Boston. There's quite a scene of really well trained and badly trained wrestlers coming out there too. And of course, you have Toronto and Western Canada too. So
interesting.
so Florida, yeah, Florida has a thing for sure, but also I would, off the top of my head, I'm probably missing, um, missing areas. But and you had UPW in California too. So
Hmm. Yeah, I saw a lot of. Ali was saying something about Philly. I saw a lot of people wearing Philadelphia WrestleCade
Philadelphia, yeah,
2024 from this year.
yeah. If
But
I
it
had to
was
pick,
nice.
if I had to pick one area where wrestling is universally loved, it's unforgiving. If you fuck up, they will let you know. And they are
Mm,
diehard fans. If I had to say one place is the capital of wrestling, I would honestly say it's Philadelphia.
mm.
Like,
Not surprised.
yeah, like the one of the best places to go see a show, any show, a concert, any sporting event, Philadelphia, and wrestling's no different. And of course,
Mm.
ECW came out of there too. So, just my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Uh, you
Mm.
know what I mean? You tell me. So I'm reading your comments
Yeah,
now.
Queen of
And
Wrestling.
yeah,
Okay.
Winona says indie wrestling is honestly better than some of the larger promotions as of late. Yes, yes, yes. Um, let's
Well,
see.
see what happens for next year. Never know.
Yeah. And Elliot's saying it's the Florida water making all the wrestlers jacked. Yeah, it's also that makes all our cops jacked as well. Every
Mm.
deputy down here, our and I noticed in North Carolina, you guys had the same thing. Like,
Oh, there was one. Yeah.
yeah, it seems like all the cops look like wrestlers, and yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Chucky,
I have to admit there was lots of eye candy for me. So yes. I'll
yeah.
take that.
Allie says
Nothing
New
like a
York.
nothing better than a man in uniform.
Oh, I would dispute that, but okay.
You know, everybody's
Let's
got
see.
their thing.
Yeah, DC. Steve says Philly wrestling fans are unique. That's a nice way of putting it. Um,
You know, fans, period, in Philly are unique of every sport.
Chowny Mans, yes, yes, very. Philly people are unique. Period. Full stop. Charlie Man says, I wish Vegas had more pro wrestling circuit, but they don't. Believe it or not, the first wrestling show I ever went to was in Vegas. I went to an independent with Lisa Lips
Mm,
because she was like a ring girl valet there. She took me
mhm.
out, and Yokozuna was on the show. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So well, anyway, kind of weird thing.
Yes, Alan, I
And
am.
Everbless 900 Call of Duty fan, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're talking some wrestling shiz now. Georgia is a hot spot for wrestling. Yes, I agree with you. I totally agree
Mm.
with you.
That's getting to be
Um,
more of a hot spot, isn't it?
no, it always was.
Atlanta?
WCW
Oh,
was
okay.
based out of there, deep south. A lot of places, there. What happened? They used to have territories, and hi, Gregory. They used to have territories.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Ohio, Bobo, Brazil, Coco. Yep. So, what kind of, in my opinion, kind of fucked up wrestling is when WWF at the time kind of took out those territories because it was WWWF, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, and they had different territories in different areas, and they would loan out wrestlers to those areas. And those areas, okay, the wrestlers themselves were superstars. And then that was Vince Sr. And when Vince Jr. took over his father's company, they changed it to WWF, so which eventually became WWE.
Mhm.
When Vince Jr. took over, he made a very smart business decision that fucked over everybody. And he decided that instead of the wrestlers being the draw, it should be the brand. So
Mm.
now the wrestlers have a minimal draw, and it's more about the WWF or WWE. So if a wrestler has a big draw, imagine how much bigger that draw would be back in the days where everybody came out to see Ric Flair, or everybody came out to see, um,
Hulk
mm,
Hogan,
yeah, or
Macho Man.
Killer Kowalski, and Bruno Sammartino.
Mm.
But now, instead of those names being marketed and pushed to the sky, now the only name being marketed and pushed to the sky is WWE.
Yeah,
So, but
it's
anyway,
sad.
yeah, yeah. Steve said I used to love the old Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Yes.
Mm.
And Cool Awesome Dude is saying Billy Corgan's planning to bring back territories, including
That's interesting.
AIWF. Yeah, I like what Corgan's doing. I really
Yeah,
do. Um, yeah, I really do.
yeah, he's making
And
a statement, that's for sure.
yeah, I really think NWA is a slow burn now that Corgan has it. And I think that they're definitely one to watch because I know they have a very long-term plan. And they just kind of they stay over here. You got the AEW and you have the WWE. They stay here and they're just slowly kind of and
Hmm.
they're gonna hang out and they're gonna I definitely think they have a good thing going on and they're worth definitely keeping an eye on for sure and watching. They got some really good talent.
Yeah.
Allie says, yeah, the WWF devoured all the territorial promotions except for the Jim Crockett owned ones, which became WCW. Right. And then what
Mm.
happened was you had WCW then, and of course ECW emerged, which at the time, for those who aren't wrestling fans, it was called Extreme Championship Wrestling. They were like the alternative product.
Okay.
There were a lot of blood, light bulb matches, cage matches, all that. So you
Mm.
had WCW, Monday Night Wars with WWF at the time, and also ECW. That was the height of wrestling then. So you had these three promotions battling it out. And what happened? Take a guess.
But
WWE bought ECW and WCW. And that's my story right there. So I was with WCW and they were going to send me to Georgia to get trained. Uh, Believe it or not, Terry Taylor actually sent me, he talked to Jim Ross. They sent me over to LA the day after WrestleMania to have an interview because Terry and Jim were friends to have an interview
yeah.
with WWF. So WWF
Mm.
sent me to Killer Kowalski's. So now here, because I wasn't under contract, Terry Taylor told Jim, he's like, we got a girl here. She's not under contract. She's at a per show thing. She wants to leave because she's not being used. I think you should take a look at her.
Mm.
So I was flown over to LA to meet with the writers. They said, we're sending you to Killer Kowalski's to get trained. Now, at the time, mind you, We've got WCW, ECW, WWF/E, whatever you want to say it. So, and Trish was there. So now they want, Trish, Tori, they want fitness models. Now this is the hottest thing. I go to Killer Kowalski's to get trained. In the interim, WWE buys ECW and WCW, and I got lost in that shuffle right there, where they're trying to figure out whose contract to keep and whose to get rid of and what they were doing. I remember them getting in a contract war with, I can't remember, something kid, the something kid who I since fell off the face of the earth shortly after that. But they were, they were trying to figure out who to keep, who to get rid of, everything else. So at that point, up until then, I was being called backstage to work with them. I was being sent to Heartland to do the tryout camps, paid. You didn't pay to go; they paid you. I was doing all of that, and I just got kind of really just completely lost in that shuffle. So no, not Kid Cash. It was another one. It was one that we never ever heard of or heard from again. So,
So what happened with WWE? You never actually signed with them, did you?
No. So what I ended up doing was going to Japan. So I was one of only 3 gaijin or Western women that they brought over. It was me, Sarah Del Rey, and cheerleader Melissa. So they liked me and they kept bringing me over. And while I was over there, I was doing like Toyota commercials and films, and that's why I was to say I'm huge in Japan. So yeah, I was working in Japan, and then I was working in Mexico, and I started working in England a lot. Sweet Saraya, was my veteran in there. I was working a lot in Canada, and I worked in Europe a lot. So I was just working overseas a lot. Yeah, and that's what happened.
I just found your Toyota commercial.
Yes, it's a very interesting, fun, very weird thing. You could try to play it on here, but
I'll see if it'll work.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Jason's asking if I was in the ring when Scott Steiner cut his infamous Flair bashing promo in 2000 in WCW. Yes, I was. And you can see me. I'm the one redhead wearing the tiger print cowboy hat. And by the way, guess who was wearing the cowboy hat before Trish was wearing the cowboy hat? And guess where she got it from? And if you go back to watch all my stuff, and if you go back to see all my pictures, you will see who was wearing the different colored cowboy hats. Yeah, that was my gimmick. So
cool.
Yeah. But he or she who gets it on TV first at the biggest level, it's considered theirs. That is the rule. So yeah, I was one of the most stolen from people in wrestling. It's crazy. Like I would send tapes in. Literally, I would send tapes in all the time. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, we'd like to see a new tape." I would send tapes in, and then see my moves on TV a month later, 6 weeks later. I'm like, motherfucker. Like,
that's not cool.
Yeah, I know. So,
well, I can try sharing it real quick, see if it works.
You can, if you want to try. War Demon, I don't think Goldberg was there. If he was, I didn't run into him or hear about it. So I'm going to say no, because I think he probably would have been there. Also, yes, thank you, Johnny Man. I appreciate that. Oh, you're doing it?
If you want to see it, come on, everybody.
Might have to, let me see if I can make that. Can I make that a bigger screen?
I just did. Did that work?
Okay, go ahead.
See it? All right.
Okay, this is ridiculous, you guys.
This is new for me to do, so we'll see.
Drive your dreams.
That was it.
There you go.
Well, I figured something new out. I'll have to use that again.
There you go. Right. Drive your dreams, y'all. Cool, awesome dude saying, anyway. I wish Cage Match would add more of your matches to your profile. Ask them. or send them to them and see if they will. And Ibzan, thank you. I'm glad you got it. So thank you. No 6-pack. I don't. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 kid. I'm not sure. I don't think it was, but again, it's been a while. But yeah, they thought that was funny to break the cello, have it between my thighs, and have me break it. So yeah, I had to learn Japanese for that, so it looked like I was speaking. Those were some long days. When they film, they do long days. It is not uncommon to do 17-hour days.
Wow.
So Fury, what's up? And Red Sunny, you are welcome. Thank you for everything that you do. I appreciate it. So yeah, it was WrestleCade was both a disaster and amazing. So thank you to you guys for making it amazing. I appreciate it. Wolf especially, thank you.
Yeah.
And
it's good to know him.
Cool, awesome dude. You have been really good about finding lost matches. I really appreciate when you guys find lost matches and lost photo sets and stuff like that. I had my entire hard drive crash. It was my fault. A long story, but basically I didn't know how to handle my spare hard drive the right way, and I lost so much stuff on it. And when you guys find things that are gone for me and I can use them again, I really appreciate it. So I'm very grateful when you send me pictures that are out there that I don't have anymore, or matches or videos or anything. So thank you for that. It really, really helps. Yeah, it matters. So thank you. I don't know.
What else did you do?
Oh, this I did a photo shoot that Friday as well. So you guys
found a few things for to share if you want.
Yeah, sure.
I can't share pictures because of my own computer. That's my problem, not yours. But whoops, I just do that.
Huh?
I know. I'm sorry. I just hit the wrong
switch
button.
us back.
I thought I just did.
Yeah, switch. You gotta switch us back.
I don't know what I did.
You don't know how to do it? You don't know what you did?
Nope.
All right. Hey, TN Couponer, what's up? How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. All right, let me see if I have some pictures I can share with you. So we did a Black Spider-Man. Go ahead. My dogs were not happy with this outfit.
What? Well, okay, I'll stop there. But I had another one that I came across. I apologize for my flipping stuff around here. I don't know what I'm doing, but wow, it keeps like flipping me out.
Let's see. Oh, that when he bit me?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was so cold, you guys. Like wearing spandex in 30 degrees was not a happy moment. And Steve saying I took a picture of Mickey James during our Alexis Lurie days, and she was so happy to see it. Yeah, I remember working with her back then. She was working with the two brothers, or it was, oh God, what are their names? The Joey, help me out here. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah. We'll do a kicking one. And I fall over on this one, right? Okay.
1, 2, 3. One more time.
Mind you, that somebody's taking a picture at the same time.
Yes, down a slopey driveway.
Yes.
One more. You can do it. Come on.
The ridiculousness that we do.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just giving me issues.
Yeah, I was just freezing out there, and then we went out and did some tasteful nudes that were. It was even colder for that one. Yes.
I think I found. Why does it keeps?
Oh, MCW.
What?
MCW. Steve saying it was the first time I saw you at as a wrestler, same event. I remember that. was Maryland Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
This is my idea, right? This is a dumb idea.
That's great.
Yeah, it was cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was
sorry.
cold.
All right, I'll make it go away.
You're throwing me under a bus here.
No, I'm not. That was just funny.
Yeah, at one point it was so glamorous, right? At one point, Loki, I'm playing with him. I'm just going like this. I'm like, psh, psh, psh. He lunges forward and bites me in the tit.
Oh shit, wrong
Yeah,
one.
that's not the one.
Okay, anyway, I'll let him go. That's all right. That's good enough. Anyway, I'll figure
So
this stuff out maybe by next week better.
yeah, we're still learning. It's a learning curve. Thanks, you guys, for being so patient. Yeah, photo shoot bloopers. Exactly. Well, you guys get to see everything first. What else did we do? We did, let me see what I got here for you. We did, oh yeah, we did this one.
Yes.
Are you guys fans of Vampirella? So let's see. We dug out the black wig and we did a little Vampirella one. Let's see what I got for you to share. It's hard to see on the thing here because it's reflecting, I know. But
No,
give
actually,
you
they can see.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Give you a few sneak peeks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, one of my favorite photographers, Steve Griffey, came out for our Friendsgiving, and we did the shoot, and it was a lot of fun.
Steve, a lot of
So
times is in the on the chat here as well too.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah. So there's some few sneak peeks of what we did. So I like to share with you guys first, since you come here and you're live and you make the effort. So thank you for being here.
we had
So what are
Steve
some?
pose for a few times. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Say what?
Here it is. I was looking for. I don't know if you can see with mine.
I can't see it. No, because you have that weird background.
Oh, it's too bad. I thought
Yeah.
Steve would have a face.
Yeah, you have that weird background.
Yeah. I just I dropped it to you. If you want
Okay.
to hold it up.
Yeah, sharing is caring. Absolutely.
And bloopers.
So let's see. We got a couple things here to share with you guys. Aside from all of that. We'll rip through some topics of things you should know that you're probably not going to know unless you are digging into research or, paying attention to podcasts and things like that. So where do you want to go first?
How about the Vermont thing, the Vermont ruling on the vaccines?
Oh my God. Yeah. Go on.
Well, I didn't get a chance to read up on it like you did.
Oh, I
too,
did.
But,
Okay. So parents of a young child were upset because they were very unhappy that their child was vaccinated at school against their wishes, and they sued, and that lawsuit went all the way to the Supreme Court in the state. And we got Indy Steve here. What's up? Yeah,
nice.
we're just showing off some of your work there. So
you should have his picture if you want to show his face.
Yes. Thank you. So yeah, we were showing off some of the things that we did this weekend. So thank you again, Steve. So yeah, the parents of this child sued. It went all the way to the Supreme Court in New Hampshire, and New Hampshire ruled that it is perfectly fine to have schools vaccinate children without parental consent, which sets a very, very dangerous precedent. And at the same time, more studies came out across the board showing that the mRNA vaccines are very dangerous with a lot of side effects. So this is a real conflict of interest here.
Right.
I'm sure it's a paid conflict as well. So that's pretty radical.
Yeah. It's just
and
wrong
very
on so many avenues.
controversial. And just above and beyond that, you should never do anything to anyone's child without parental consent. The school is not the parent. And we're getting further and further into the situation where you're having the state and the school take away rights that the parent should have exclusive rights to. So doing anything, yeah, always follow the money. Thank you, T.N. Kupiner. Anything important should always be done with the parents. So I don't care if that's vaccination. I don't. It's just anything. So you don't do a court ruling like this. You just don't. So it's taking. I mean, I'm stunned and disgusted, honestly. But so that happened. And to piggyback off of that, like I said earlier, Bill Gates admitted, I believe today, to using India as his personal medical playground, which we've been saying on this show ever since it started in 2020. Basically, everything regarding all the bullshit going on, everything that we have said has been true. And these are all the things we got in trouble for. So we said early on when they were pushing all these ridiculous vaccines as mandatory, we said that you have to watch out because Gates is behind it. This is a financial, this is a profit scam, basically. And that the Gardasil situation in India, where they basically poisoned a lot of girls. We never heard about it in America because we don't pay attention to what goes on in other countries. So, but they basically destroyed a lot of girls' lives experimenting on them with the Gardasil vaccine. And I feel like they were using us again as an experiment. And they use emergencies to take away rights, whether that is, Patriot Act or COVID and lockdowns. And when on earth have you ever seen a global situation where every government got in lockstep with each other on the same page across the board? When? It's never happened. So there's been a global movement for all of this to happen, with open borders, with vaccinations, to take rights away. This has been planned, and it came out. There's been a study. It's been a 2-year study, and it's coming out now, of course. And everything we've told you, and all those conspiracy theories that everybody's warning you about, and it's correct. And no, Alan, Gates is not banned from India. As a matter of fact, he has an office in India. And he's also, he uses India and Africa as his medical playground. So it's scary. These people are sociopaths. They experiment on people and have absolutely no remorse or regret. There have been only, hang on, I'm trying to remember the numbers now. I might get this wrong. So you can cross-check if you want. I believe it's only 25% of the COVID vaccine payouts have been paid out. 98% of the people who have been vaccine injured, they've been denied. So, and 25% of the claims that were not denied were paid out. So, and the payouts vary tremendously.
I mean, look at that $12 million one for 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So, and it's for the
they'll
same
probably
stuff.
never
You
see
get
it done.
myocarditis, and somebody gets, a couple $1,000s, and somebody else gets millions of dollars. So it's very erratic.
I don't understand and how Gates and a few of those other people, being it's so well known throughout the world of what they're doing and the problems, that they're still able to accomplish testing on people.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And it's weird to me. The same people who are looking at R.F. Kennedy, they're like, oh, we're not going to follow his advice. He's not a doctor, but we're going to folloll Bill Gates' advice. Of course, he's definitely, the guy to follow. I mean, what?
Fauci.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This guy looks like a pile of lumpy mashed potatoes. Like, seriously. He looks like Grimace.
Good way to put it.
He's Grimace.
we're talking about toxins too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how South Korea, yeah, all right, so we all know who Temu is, and we know who AliExpress is.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not you've ever bought anything, who knows? But I know I haven't, but some people have. And Temu, South Korea went after them and started testing some products of theirs and found extremely high lead toxins in kids' clothing. So down to the poisonous levels, 3 and 4 times unimaginable things. Anyway, long story short, AliExpress and Temu have both been targeted by governments now to make sure they're following rules with proper toxicity levels. I'm not speaking correctly.
No,
Sorry.
you said it right. Toxicity levels. Yeah.
And many other things too. So be careful what you buy, especially if you're buying it for your kids or somebody else's kids, that you're getting something that's actually okay. Because you don't want them, over here we got our own issues, but that lead can turn it not to just poison to the children, but some of the items that are coming from over there too are also flammable.
Yeah, not just
So be
that. They're
careful.
saying that the high levels of lead and toxic, you know, items, I guess. I'm searching for the word. It's not the right word, but there's a lot of toxicity in children's food and baby food here in the United States,
Right.
and it far surpasses the acceptable amount. And I'm like, wait a second, we have an acceptable amount? Like,
Right.
oh, we can have an acceptable amount. It's like, didn't we work hard to take the lead out of paint
Uh-huh.
for a reason? And all of a
Yep.
sudden, what, we're putting it back in the food? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, it was safer in the paint. When we were young, we grew up with lead paint, but our food was clean. Now they took the
Right.
lead paint away and just put it in the kids' food or something. Like, what's happening here? So yeah,
Yeah.
apparently there is an acceptable amount in baby food and children's food, and this is all in the processed food, of course. So
Absolutely.
also
Which
in
causes all these other things. Yeah, I was
yeah,
going to say the
also in
straws. Don't forget
these
about the
paper
paper straws.
straws. The paper straws that are supposed to be so great for the environment, the
Right.
glue is highly toxic and full of forever chemicals. So it's pretty much the worst thing for you. So it's crazy the amount of crap that's being put into the environment. My uncle's funny. I love him, but he's such a Fox News believe everything that he is told person. He really is. So he tells me first he's on well water, right? He's in Pennsylvania, he's on well water. And he's telling me there's a problem with the water, and the city has basically sold him on a water system. So he tells me he gets it done, right? It's done now. And I said, so how did it go? He's like, well, we had copper pipes, and those copper pipes were probably damaged and the, shouldn't be used. I'm like, yeah, but people drink out of copper and silver all the time. There's a reason why, it's healthy to use copper and silver.
Mhm.
The saying you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth meant that those children had less disease and died less often because they had an natural antibiotic, which was silver in their mouth with every meal. So, and copper is healthy too. So he goes, well, we switched them out to plastic.
Sorry.
So he's on city water now that's with plastic pipes. And I was like, and what did you pay for that? Yeah. So,
Wow.
and I said, well, how does the water taste? He's like, well, I don't know. He's like, they put a big filter on it. And I was like, but did you need that with well water before? A filter?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Never mind. Mhm. Okay. Well,
I'm like, did you give them the copper after you were done? He's like, well, yeah, they took the copper. I'm like, I'm sure they did.
oh yeah.
So
They made
I'm
their
like,
money off of him,
I'm like,
unfortunately.
wow. Yeah. And we notice like it's easy. They're getting kickback money from all those experiments, those vaccine and medical
Of
experiments.
course.
My God, yeah.
Yeah,
And Alan
tons
says,
of it
isn't
too.
Diet Mountain Dew illegal in Germany? I don't know. Probably. I know
Isn't Mountain Dew generally illegal in a lot of countries anyway?
a lot of
Or
stuff's
banned?
illegal. A lot of our stuff
Yeah.
is way illegal in other countries. I know that Red Bull is illegal in France, and most of those energy drinks are illegal if you're under 18. Only that this is one of the few countries where you can, as a kid, you can go into a store and get an energy drink, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously. But yeah, a lot of stuff's illegal in other countries. Let me see. And Winona says, and the things that need certain chemicals to be effective are being taken out of those products. For instance, certain bug sprays no longer work because what was needed to make it work was taken out because it was environmentally harmful, like DEET. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's weird how they're selective about what chemicals are okay and what chemicals are not okay now. So it's very strange. Yeah, just honestly, sugar. Just drink the sugar. Sugar's better for you than high fructose corn syrup. It doesn't spike your insulin level and drop you down as fast as high fructose corn syrup. That's why Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola, tastes way better. And actually, I mean, I'm not recommending you drink Coca-Cola in general at all, but if you gotta do it, I would say eat real food. Like if you're gonna have ice cream, eat real ice cream. Drink a real eat real Mexican Coca-Cola. Drink that. Like eat real dairy. Eat real full fat dairy. Eat real butter. Eat real full fat dairy. Don't do that processed low fat crap. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
The ice cream.
Yes.
Flavored. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. So ice cream has a law now that it cannot be called ice cream unless there's a certain content of, unless it's really ice cream. So you'll see in the labeling, which is really, really tiny, you'll see in the labeling, it is now called dairy dessert. It's not ice cream. It looks like ice cream. It might taste like ice cream, but it's not allowed to be called ice cream. It is called a dairy dessert.
So
that's not what you want to. That's not what you want to eat.
Yeah. They're changing labels quickly.
Yeah. Is high fructose corn syrup illegal in other countries? I don't know if it's illegal in countries. I'm guessing it is. It's not used. Yeah.
Right.
See, we grow corn. We grow corn and soy like crazy. Those are our cash crops. That's why we're putting it in everything. And the reason our bread lasts for 6 months and our cheese lasts forever is because we put that stuff in everything. So yeah.
Make sure you read packages when you get time. I know we don't always do, but you might find one brand that's at least the healthier items are at the top of the list instead of corn syrup.
Yeah. Or as Alan says, shop the outside aisle of the grocery store. Yeah. Exactly.
True.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
Okay. So after saying for a very, 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 very long time that he would not pardon his son, President Biden has pardoned Hunter Biden. So, but I mean, we should be used to that with this administration. What they say and what they do are two completely different things. And if you look at the pardon, that pardon goes way back to like 2016. So I don't think he's pardoning his son. I think he's pardoning himself.
I agree.
What is your theory on that?
I think so too, and I think it was 2014 it goes back to. But I mean, that's anything that's related to Hunter Biden is also related to Joe Biden.
Right, exactly.
So, and he knows well and good that he could be prosecuted like they've gone after Trump. They can go after Joe Biden. So
11 years, Alan's saying.
Yeah.
So
I truly think it's about pardoning Joe Biden or stopping from any prosecution against him after he's out of office.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are looking for immunity before they leave. They're desperately trying to get immunity right now. They're scrambling. And Bigwig says, I won't condemn him for that. I would do it for my kid, but that doesn't make it right. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I mean, if you, as a parent, I
understand that part. Yeah, I just don't think that's the full scope of it.
Yeah, but I don't think
buying him time. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was only about that, it wouldn't have gone back 11 years. Additionally, if he was all about his kids, why did he and his wife run for president when his daughter was in the middle of having a health crisis? Why did they choose that time to run for president when they really should have been home taking care of her? So he's not all about family as, I mean, obviously he doesn't, he would have prioritized that and not run for president, right? Seems
Right.
like. So
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll hear about the ulterior motives after January.
yeah, probably.
So,
Um,
what
move
else?
on. Watch out for the cars you're getting. There are a lot of flooded cars going into the auctions coming from Florida and North Carolina. So if it seems too good to be true, or affordable, it might definitely be too good to be true. So
A
Eva,
lot of
you work with
high-end
cars.
cars.
Yeah, a lot of high end like Ferrari and Ford GT and
Porsche.
yeah, Porsches. So these cars have been flooded out and they're not a good deal. Um,
It's
how do you,
different when they flood with fresh water versus salt water.
salt water? Mhm.
Salt water eats everything, the wiring,
It's
everything.
corrosive.
So yeah, Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Tesla. Well,
what
most of
did
those
you?
houses just caught on fire. So
Yeah, and we're back to lithium again. Hey,
yeah.
didn't you see
Oh,
something about Jaguar today?
yes. And Steve points out that the Hunter pardon going back effective to 2014 was interesting since he wasn't charged with anything back then. That's why I said he's not pardoning his
Exactly.
son, he's pardoning himself.
Yes. So I think everybody's going to start digging into 2014 now to see what Joe Biden did in that
Yeah.
time frame forward. So I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll be hearing about that in the next few days.
Yeah. And Jaguar, as they say in England, had leaked pictures of their newest model, which is ugly as anything. I mean, if you thought the Tesla trucks were interesting looking, this new Jaguar model is really unattractive, shall we say, with an oval steering wheel. And they are also closing 80% of their showrooms at the same time. So it seems like a lot of the corporations had planned on a Kamala Harris presidency and had catered to a, God, how do I put this? A more, and I hate this word, woke, a more
Mm,
woke presidency, I guess,
yeah.
where you aren't really sure who's the man of the house kind of thing. Whereas, and they designed the cars and logos and ads and everything a lot across the board to cater to this situation. And now a lot of them are backpedaling to go, okay, I guess we're going back to normalcy now or whatever. And where, old school where people can figure out who's, what's going on. So now they're trying to backpedal and recoup financial losses. So
I did find
yes,
a little clip on it if you want to see what it looks like.
sure, if you can figure out. Alan says, interesting design, dumpster fire.
That's true.
Um, yeah.
Here it is.
Okay.
Jaguar unveils.
Look at its uncompromising modern surfaces, dramatic intersections with flawless details.
Huh.
Ugly.
Is it pink?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It is pink, right?
Yeah, Miami pink and London blue.
Interesting.
That is just ugly. Ah, there's that. That's wow. Okay.
I wouldn't turn it down if somebody gave me one. I'd drive a pink car.
No.
It's very Mary Kay.
No, free is good. Free is good.
Yeah. I would drive an electric car. I mean, I just couldn't park it anywhere because we live in a place where we have hurricanes and salt water, and I don't want my house to catch on fire or my neighbor's house to catch on fire. So I'd be afraid of that. So it's not having an electric car is not a responsible thing to do to your house or your neighbor's
No.
house. It really is
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like a
It's not.
fashion
It's not
salon.
showing the love. Let me tell you. Or an electrical anything, golf cart, anything.
Oh,
It's just not responsible. But I think that's why they market it so hard. They want you to burn everything down and burn your neighbor's house down too, so they can deny your insurance, which they do. There's a clause in there. It can be proven that the company let you know that this will catch on fire, and they can prove that they don't have to pay you out with insurance. So yeah. Anyway,
mhm.
it's always follow the money. Always follow the money. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
So there was something else too, wasn't there?
you had written down election mind control, and you wrote down yoga for pooping.
Yes, I did, but there was a reason we were talking about everybody being basically in a food coma from
Yeah, because a lot of people were having problems
turkey.
after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you do with all that food you ate? It's got to go somewhere. But what if you can't
right.
go to the bathroom? And
You're
what?
traveling, you're backed up, you don't want to go to the bathroom in somebody else's house. And
So
we
what is
noticed this. Have
food
you ever
yoga?
noticed that some of these advertisements now look like a bad acid trip? Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
100%.
Yeah.
No, not pooping during yoga, yoga for it. So yeah, so a lot of this came about because somebody I know was having some issues like yes, Alex, exactly. Do not buy an electric car in Florida.
Right.
As much as it would be nice to have one, it's just not a nice thing to do to anybody that you love or care about or yourself. Yeah, so if you have had issues where you are backed up, there are certain things you can do to help move things along without taking medication or swallowing 5 pounds of Metamucil. So there are poses. Do you want to demonstrate or should I?
No,
Because
no, please go
I
ahead.
literally I'm wearing pajama pants. Okay. There
So am
are
I. So
twisting
go ahead.
poses. I'm wearing pajama poses or pajama pants. There are twisting poses that you can do for yoga. So if you're here, right, you would come over here and twist and lean forward. And this basically squeezes your insides and you hold it and breathe. So you are leaning down. I don't know if you see this, but I'm pushing with my elbow. And then you come back the other side and you're here
Mhm.
and you're doing it like this. So you're squeezing. I don't know if you can see, but you're squeezing
Yeah.
your inside. So and you're holding. And what that's doing is basically giving you like an inner massage inside here. And I don't know if you can hear me at all. Can you?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
helping your organs. It's squeezing your organs basically. And then what you can also do is massage your stomach. So like that.
Is
And
there a
you give
particular
yourself,
direction?
I always go this way, whatever this way is.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah, counterclockwise.
And there's a
And
reason for that, supposedly, too.
yeah, massage your stomach on, and then that should realistically get you or somebody you care about if they're having problems going again. So yeah, do your twisting yoga poses, hold them, make sure you're drinking water, obviously, and then do your stomach massage, and that way you don't have to take any kind of medication, Metamucil, any of that, whatever the stuff is that has harsh side effects, and you are helping things move along, shall we say?
Well, that went right into the sleeping on a certain side. I didn't know about that until we were all talking about it. That if you sleep on your left side, it's better for your digestive system than versus your right side, because of the way your intestines flow.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. So
What?
yeah, sleeping on your left side is better for your digestion than your right side. Sleeping on your back is actually better for your face. It's
How
a
come?
anti-ager to sleep on your back, and it's actually better for your back. So bear that in mind. If you sleep with your face all mushed up for 7-8 hours, eventually one side's gonna. Alan says that's how we give enemas. Incidentally, Alan is a nurse, so
Kegel for your ass, Alan.
yeah. Bigwig says I just get a girl to call me and tell me she's pregnant and makes me crap my pants. No problem.
Well, okay then.
Yeah,
Well, you know.
Kegel for your ass. There you go.
Cup of coffee doesn't always do that. It constipates people, Alan. Just saying. Good cup of
Usually
coffee, he
not.
says.
Usually it'll move things along too, but not everybody drinks coffee, and not everybody wants coffee after a certain hour, and all
That's
that
true.
stuff. So somebody was asking me if I had any suggestion for help, and that was my suggestion, and it ended up working. So, Wolf, I did not see your last comment. So if we were,
I'm scrolling back. What
yeah,
comment?
yeah, I didn't. So hopefully that will help. Hopefully that will help set you free. Or
Right, right.
sorry,
What else
I'm
is on
still
the
trying to get
list?
over the ick that I had. That thing is like 3 weeks now. Excuse
Yes.
me. So whatever bacteria infection or whatever is going around. So prednisone and Z-Pak, and still hacking up a lung sometimes, but hopefully none of you guys get it. And yeah, Winona,
Uh,
that's why you retain your girlish looks. She sleeps on her back.
what
Um,
about you haven't talked about your sponsor in a while. Ooh,
no.
look
Oh,
at
look
that.
at you, figuring it out.
Look
Yeah,
at
if you are concerned about the future and want to put your money into something that is a finite resource and will grow and has been growing, if you've been watching gold and silver, put your money into some precious metals. Check out aprilhunter.gold. That is not me. That's the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Exchange. They are veteran owned and trusted, and you can invest with as little as $50. You can do a monthly investment, and if you decide to do a recurring buy, you can use the code 1776, and you'll get some free constitutional silver. A lot of people are aware at this point that we are going into a BRICS currency situation where the dollar can and probably will be tanking. So if you invest your money into something that will not move, like the dollar, and you put it into gold and silver, you will stay secure and protect your finances for yourself and for your future, your
and
kids,
one more
your
time.
significant other.
aprilhunter.gold.
So yeah, aprilhunter.gold and code 1776. If you do a recurring buy, get some free stuff. So there's
Excellent.
that. Thank you to our lovely sponsor there. So yeah, I think, what else? Was there anything else to cover? Oh, the fact that South Korea declared martial law today. That was weird.
Oh,
That was weird. Yeah, they're really, 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 really trying to start World War III to stick that with the new administration. They want to hurry up and do that, and then they'll turn around and blame him, I'm sure.
there's going to be a lot going on. They're talking about. I heard something, and I don't know what it was in reference to Trump already doing a call to stop this BRICS or to put a wrench in their plans.
Hmm.
That they won't be able to do business with the U.S. and so forth going forward if they're not able to pay with BRICS money.
Yeah, well,
So
hopefully, because you can really start a war with somebody just over money without a single shot fired. You tank their
it'll be
economy.
interesting what happens after January. I don't know about some of the cabinet people he picked, whether or not I'm not sure what he's doing there, but
I don't know,
I
he's
guess we'll
making some
find out.
stupid picks, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I am dumbfounded by some of the people he's chosen. But and one of the things that came out also with the study, as proud as Trump has been over Operation Warp Speed, it has been proven through mathematicians doing the actual numbers is that it was not successful. So
Mm,
it did not save lives. So there was that too.
wow.
So, you gotta, there's good and bad on both sides. So there's, keep that in mind.
Keep an open mind to everything going on. Hey,
Yes.
what was that Project Bluebeam you were talking about?
I don't know enough about it. But
I
the
don't
theory
either.
behind it, that's something we all have to be aware of. I'm sure you guys are hearing a lot more about aliens. So Project Bluebeam, sorry, I'm again tired, is basically, you should look it up. It's out there. You can do your own research. Again, with everything we tell you, we give you the information. You guys are free to run with it and look further. So look up Project Bluebeam. It is basically a wag the dog with aliens. So the government will recreate an alien invasion in order to create havoc. And they can do this through Project Bluebeam. And they can do this through recreating aircraft and different, holograms and AI and different things. So definitely look into that and see what's going on, because I feel like that's part of the reason why they have wanted to get into a global one world government and one world bank so badly, is so that they can start this alien invasion and create a war against this other world situation, because we
Yeah.
love war. We love war. And that's when we're profiting, right?
That's-
We're a
that's true.
warring people.
Don't forget, after war, there's injuries, and there's big pharma to back them up.
And everything's privatized. So there's pharma,
Yeah.
there's all the warmongers are privatized. Everything is privatized. The only people who don't do well are the people. It's everybody in the war. Yeah, the only people who want to go to war are the bankers, basically. So
I can I read this real quick? There's
Yeah.
something I found on that.
Yeah.
It looks like Project Bluebeam was first proposed in the 90s by a journalist turned conspiracy theorist.
Mhm.
And then it says, in short, Project Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory that suggests NASA and the UN are trying to create a new world order by implementing a New Age religion headed by the Antichrist, using advanced technology to trick people into believing in this religion. If they succeed in their supposed mission, all traditional religions will be abolished and all national identities will be removed in favor of one world religion and one world government.
Mhm.
That's all I'm
Well,
gonna say.
that's where we've been headed.
Mhm.
They've been trying to slander. I'm not Christian, but you'd be an idiot to see that they haven't been trying to trash Christianity across the board and remove it as much as possible. Everybody can see that. They're, like I said, every government got into lockstep over COVID. I believe they used COVID to implement everything going on. And I think it started way back with the Patriot Act. So we need the Patriot Act in order to start all these, get all these lawsuits in order with Mockingbird and everything else. And now we are here.
Yep.
Lockdowns, they were a test to see exactly how far they could push us. 6-foot distance, isolate us. Like, just keep going.
Mhm.
I don't think you're seeing more and more election fraud across every country. I don't think
Right.
these people have been elected. I think they've been selected to be part of this one world government and to keep the plebeians in order. So
Yeah, that's interesting because this is in
this-
the Patriot Act 96. There's somewhere right in there. So all this really started in the 90s.
Yeah, the Patriot Act was written long before it actually was implemented.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, implementation. Oh, man. Sorry. I cannot get big words out today. I sound like a child.
And Bigwig says when you look at all the wars fought over religion, one religion might not be a bad thing. Yes, but a lot of wars were fought over finances too.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they use religion as the catalyst.
Right.
So
And it's an easy match to light there with that.
yeah, like for example, the Civil War. 5 out of 13 states listed slavery, and not even as their first thing. It was a financial situation because the North was taxing the South so dramatically because all the money was coming from the South. All the crops were coming from the South. Everything was coming from the South. So the North felt that they should take more money from them. And the South was saying, F you. So it wasn't necessarily about slavery, although that was part of it, but not even half of them listed that as a reason to go to war. It was because they were being taxed and taken advantage of. So it was financial. So they wanted to secede.
Crazy. Hopefully, things will get better for all of us.
Yeah, hopefully.
Mm.
Yeah, and Alan says religion has always been a method of control throughout history. Absolutely. Yeah,
sure has.
Absolutely. So
there's so many avenues we could branch into on that conversation. Maybe we'll hold that for another day. Yes, I was thinking of a lot of things in my head.
Yeah, I believe religion started out with really good intentions and man has corrupted it.
Of course. Yeah.
So, yeah, 100%.
So
But
what
it
what
does not,
about
don't confuse spirituality for religion. Yeah,
yes.
fall in line or go to hell. Yeah.
Yep.
And remember, all the people in charge, they're reading Revelations as well. And they know the Revelations, Ragnarok, same thing, right? They know how to
Of
play
course.
us. So anyway, yeah, thank you. I don't know if there's anything else we wanted to mention, but that was pretty
No,
much
it's just
everything.
so what's going forward with the A show, what's happening?
We're still
Help us
coming
grow.
along. Huh?
Help us grow. Like on YouTube. Do all those things.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
Please like us, please share us, please
mhm.
tell people about us. We are a very, very small podcast, and it really helps if you can like, share us, add us to your notifications, all of that. If you like us, subscribe to us, please. It really, really helps. We are live on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern. So please join us. And if you want, yeah, thank you. Marvelous. I appreciate it. Says we're going to have more fun with the A show, and I will definitely keep sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate all of you who share.
Mhm.
If you want to see more of me in between, you can find me on Real April Hunter on Instagram, Patreon at April Hunter. And I love that you guys are actually going over there and signing up. I appreciate that. That's where I sent you guys to go and get your
Mhm.
free Christmas card, holiday card, Yule card, Hanukkah card. So go to patreon.com, April Hunter. I have a few more I can send out. So if you want one, you just become a
Mhm.
member over there, free or paid, doesn't matter. But if you are paid, we appreciate it. I love the support. Thank you. And I will be happy to send you out a happy holiday card. So yeah, you can
Absolutely.
also join me on Twitter, April Hunter. And we have a couple more comments here before we leave. Winona says, when you think about it, there never really was a separation of church and state, but there's a huge
Mhm.
separation of state, church, and divine knowledge. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if a lot of people know the history, they know that the Catholic Church took a lot of books of the Bible out, and including the book of Enoch, right? And Enoch was where a lot of metaphysical stuff came in, and a lot of angels. They took the books regarding angels and mind powers and metaphysical out because they didn't want people to know the power they had. Um, and then they basically limited everybody with what they limited
Mhm.
everybody. The church stopped short.
Right.
Then you had Martin Luther started the Protestant religions as a protest because he didn't want all the rituals and everything else. So all the other Christian religions underneath of in addition to the Catholicism, they were all started out of protest. So
Mhm.
there's yeah, that is a forbidden book of the Bible, along with Jubilees and um, Judith, and there's a bunch of them or that were removed. They originally was like 17 were removed, but then it became something like 72 were taken out. They found more in the
Amazing.
70s. Yeah, they found a lot of I think like scripture. I'm saying that wrong because I'm so tired, but yeah, they found a lot of books that were missing. So
Mm.
the metaphysical and the mental powers that we have access to that we could use were removed. So even so much as them saying that you have five senses is a lie.
Mhm.
So, but if you say something enough, people will believe it. You have at least six senses. Everybody has the ability to be psychic. Everyone. Everyone has the ability to create their own reality. I posted something earlier. You really want to piss people off, tell them they have the ability to create their own life. Everything in your life is there because you have created it and you have the ability to change it. It is
Mhm.
you who have put yourself in the position you're in now. And if you don't like it, you can take yourself out of that and put yourself in a better position. It's your choice. You have
Mhm.
free will. You decide. So don't ever feel helpless because you're not fucking helpless. And yes, Winona,
Right.
also the story of Lilith. Yes. There's a lot of books that were not included. So yeah,
Ugh.
you can manifest and create anything. Anything. And they don't want you to know that. And one of these weeks, we're going to get into the fact that the astrology is still very valid. And that's why they try to make it seem stupid and discredit it. But you'll notice a lot of things happen around new moon time that are very important, including all the sports picks. So you'll notice that the powers that be, the deep state, the people out there who are making decisions, they're still following the astrological. And if you know astrology, if you really, really know it, you'll know they are still following all the astrological ins and outs and the moon fluctuations. But they're going to tell you it's all a bunch of malarkey. And they'll put all these dumb, horoscopes and papers, like, oh, today you're going to fall across a wonderful pair of socks and your special number is 2. And then you're just like, I didn't find any socks and 2 doesn't mean anything to me. And then you're like, oh, this stuff is bullshit. Yeah, no. So it works. It's been used. How the fuck do you think the 3 wise men found Jesus? So.
Oh, that's another rabbit hole. All right. Anything else you got?
No, not at all.
No.
So, yes. And Winona says God himself stated that he created us to be godlike. Yeah, I have theories that the Bible's written in parables to preserve the language, and we have the Christ is within us. So we have the Christ energy, and we can do all this and more. We can do it. They don't want us to know that. They do not want us to know how much power we have. Just like those in charge do not want us to unite. They want us divided, sick, tired, and overworked. And that is the name of the game right there. So that's
doing a great job.
You can opt out of that matrix if you want. So it's just a matter of choosing. Anyway, so there you go.
Yes.
Everything we've been saying here for the last 4+ years has been true. And you can go back and watch all those episodes and you'll see all those crazy conspiracy theories are now out in the open. And we have brought you that information early. Hopefully you've been able to, benefit from it.
It's too bad you didn't have your tinfoil hat back then.
I know, right? I don't need it anymore. Apparently it's all true. Anyway, so thank you for being with us. We really appreciate you. And we will see you next week. Eva, where can they find you?
They can reach out to me in 2 different ways. I actually made something for that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Aha. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
You can either
There you
send me
go.
an email or send me a text message.
Yeah, Eva's a psychic card reader. So if you would like to have your cards read, she can do that for you.
Hey, before the end of the year, I could do something here on the show if you want. Pull something for everybody in a group.
That'd be great.
I don't know. I'll find a deck that feels appropriate for that time. But anyway, reach out if you guys want any readings. That you don't have to do it in person. We can do it through Zoom or something. So
yeah, they could also do like a 2025 forecast too.
Exactly. So we'll try to
cool.
do something as a group here too as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Michael, hello and good night. Thank you so much. And you guys, thank you. And be good or don't get caught. Have a good night. See you next week. See you next Tuesday.